Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cricketing with Delonda. It's me again, Delonda, and thank you so much for joining me today. In today's tutorial, I am going to be showing you something that I have really done other tutorials on before. I just haven't put them all in one place in one video, so hopefully you will find this helpful. I am going to be showing you how to work with text and how to work with fonts in Cricut Design Space. In this one tutorial, this video is about 20 minutes long, but there are four goals and hopefully all of them are accomplished. If you find this tutorial helpful, at the end of the video, please consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, and turning on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Now, let me tell you what we're doing. I'm going to show you how to download fonts. I'm going to show you how to extract them, how to install them, how to use them in Cricut Design Space, how to tell the difference between system fonts and Cricut fonts, how to see how many fonts are actually installed on your computer, how to find the fonts, how to see them more clearly because there are multiple options. And I'm also going to show you how to use the character map. I'm doing all of that in a matter of about 21 minutes. So hopefully you will stay with me from the beginning to the end because I'm confident that in that time you will be able to accomplish all of those goals. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm already on the Dafont.com website, and you just get there by typing in literally Dafont.com, Dafont.com. Once I'm looking here on Dafont.com, right now I can see that all of the fonts, let me go to their homepage. All of the fonts are in categories. So there's fancy, foreign look, techno, bitmap, gothic, basic, script, dingbats, and holiday. Within these fonts, within these categories, the fonts have even more specific labels. I can also look up here where I'm hovering and I can see that the fonts are also alphabetized. I can search for a specific font. I can look right here and see that these are the recently added fonts. I can look at a specific font like this one right here is called Always Lovely. It says it has been downloaded 13,763 times. It was downloaded over 3,000 times just yesterday. It is free for personal use. Okay, and if I wanted to look for it even further, it is categorized as a script font and it is in the handwritten category. Okay, so let's just say I wanted to download this font. Okay, so I'm going to click download. And once I click it, that doesn't mean it's actually downloaded. That means that I can now start the process of downloading it. I'm going to look right here at the bottom left of my screen where it says Always Lovely and it says zip. I'm going to click on that folder and I can see that this is a true type font. I'm going to click extract all, and really it's just one file. I am going to click browse. I don't just click extract. I never do that because I like to have everything in folders. I'm going to click browse. I'm going to navigate to my desktop where I have my things saved because this is my husband's laptop. So I have a folder that is called the fonts. I'm going to select that folder. And then I am going to, let me go back and browse again. Within the fonts folder, I'm going to actually create a new folder and I'm going to name it the same name as that font, which is called Always Lovely. Okay, I'm going to double click on that folder, or just click on that folder and click select folder. So now that when I click extract, this font will be extracted to that folder. Okay, so I'm going to click extract. It's still not downloaded on my computer. It's actually downloaded, but it has not been installed yet. So now I can see there's a check mark right there. I'm going to double click on the font or the file. And now I have to click install. Okay. And it tells me that it's installing. Okay. And once it's finished installing, I can go ahead and close this out. I don't have to keep this open. Now I'm going to close this out also. I'm also going to close this out. So now I've downloaded a font and it's called Always Lovely. I can look here. I'm back on the Dafont website. I can click right here where I can look at all of the new fonts. There's one called Bananas Font, one called Super Talls, High Ashoka. This one is called Less Coffee. So, I can download as many fonts as I want. This is one is called Back to School. This one is called Circle. I actually like this one. I'm also going to click this one called Circle. Okay. It's been downloaded 1,600 times. It is free for personal use. I have the option right here to donate to the author. Every font doesn't have that. Some of them do. So once again, I click the download button. Now I'm going to navigate to this zip folder right here in the bottom left of my screen where I'm hovering. I'm going to click it to open it. I'm going to click Extract All. I'm going to click Browse. I am going to go back to my default fonts folder. And then within that folder, I'm going to make a new folder. This folder is going to be called Circle because that was the name of that font. I'm going to click on the folder, click Select Folder, and then click Extract. Now the font is still not installed, so I have to double click on it, and then I have to click Install. Okay, so now I have installed 2 fonts on my computer. I've downloaded them from the font, and I have extracted them, and I have installed them. I've done 3 things. Now I can open Cricut Design Space because I did not have Cricut Design Space open, and I can check just to see if any of those fonts are there in Cricut Design Space. I'm going to click on New Project. Okay. And I'm going to choose my text box. Remember the first font was called Always Lovely. So I'm just going to type my name, Delonda. And when you open Cricut Design Space, it automatically defaults to Cricut Sans. So I'm going to look for that first font, which was called Always Lovely. Okay, there it is. There is Always Lovely. It is now installed on my computer, and it is available for my use in Cricut Design Space. I'm going to grab another text box. I'm going to look for that font that was called Let's Coffee. I think it was called, was that what the one was called? No, it was called Circle. Okay, so I'm going to click here in my text box. I'm going to type my name again. Okay, and that one was called Circles. I'm going to go up here to my font, and I'm going to type in the name of that font, Circle, and there it is. Okay, so we have accomplished one task, which was to learn how to download a font and how to upload it. Well, we've downloaded it, we have extracted it, and we have installed it so we can use it in Cricut Design Space. Okay, so we've actually accomplished 2 tasks. Now, this would be the same process if you were downloading a font from Design Bundles or Crafty.net or any of the other sites where you like to access your fonts. Okay, so this would be the same exact process. Okay, the next goal that we are going to accomplish is to learn how to see the available fonts on your system. There are multiple ways to do that. The first way we're going to look at is by going to a site that is called Wordmark.it. I'm going to type that so you can see it on my screen. It's called Wordmark.it. Okay. Well, I'm going to make it red so you can see it very clearly. Okay. So Wordmark.it is just a website basically, and it shows you all of the fonts that you have installed on your computer. So I'm going to go back over here to the website. I'm going to just go to a new page. I'm going to type in Wordmark.it. Okay, and you see I'm not logged in. I don't have a pro account. This is just a regular, I'm not a member of anything. This is just the regular website. So I'm going to type in my name, just type in Delonda. Okay, and once I hit the enter key on my keyboard, this is going to show me multiple things. Number one, it shows me that I have 212 fonts that have been downloaded on my computer, and it shows me all what they look like for my use. So this shows me my name 212 different ways. Okay. And when I'm looking at Wordmark.it, I can kind of filter through here and see which ones really that I really like. So for example, I like this one that's called Bernard. So I can click on that. So if I were, in the process of getting ready to make a shirt and I was trying to decide which font I like best for my shirt or whatever, I can kind of go through these and say, oh, I like this one. Oh, okay. I don't like that Cascadia. Oh, I like chocolate. No, I don't like that one. Oh, I like Closer. I like this one called Cooper. Okay, so I like this one called Elephant. So you see what I'm doing. I'm just going through and seeing what font choices I have and which ones, really, really speak to me. Honey and Raspberries. I like Impact. So once I've gone through all of these font choices, I can, now look at the filter through the ones that I've chosen and say, well, which ones am I really sure about? Okay, so I don't like this one. I can cross that one out. I really don't like Closer. I can cross that one out. I really don't want to use Honey and Raspberries. I want something more standard. I don't like Broadway. It's a little bit too thick. I like Bernard. I don't like Elephant. I don't like Britannic. Ooh, so it's in between. I don't really like this one. I like Impact or Bernard. I think I'm going to go with Impact. So I know that once I get back to Cricut Design Space, Impact is one of the choices that I would use, if I were going to go and create a new design. Okay. So one way to see all of the font choices you have is by looking at the website wordmark.it. Another way to look at the fonts that you have downloaded on your computer is to go back into Cricut Design Space. And I'm going to go ahead and delete these two names. I'm going to keep wordmark.it up there because that was one way we looked. Another way to look at the font choices you have is to go over to, I'm going to just go and grab another text box. I'm going to type my name again. I'm going to type Delonda. And if you haven't been able to tell by now, I love my name. Okay. So if I want to see what options I already have, instead of going over to wordmark.it, I can go back up here to font and I have three options. I can look at all of the font choices. I can look at just the system fonts. The system fonts are all of the fonts that have already been downloaded and installed on my computer. Remember, when I was in wordmark.it, it told me that I have 212 fonts downloaded. So that means I should be able to look through here and see 212 options, okay? And they should pretty much be the same as what they were in wordmark.it. The reason why I prefer wordmark.it instead of looking at them here is because most of these look exactly the same. So this Footlight MT, to me, it looks just like Eris Medium ITC. And this doesn't give me a clear picture of what that font is going to look like. So I just prefer to look at wordmark.it. But if you don't want to do that, you can also just look through here. Okay. So this is one way. I can also just look at Cricut fonts. Now, let me say one thing about looking through Cricut fonts. If you're looking at a Cricut font and you see this green A next to it, that means that is available for Cricut Access members. If there isn't an additional fee, then you won't see it over here anywhere connected to the font. Some of these do have an additional fee, even for Cricut Access members. So you can look at these on my computer and see that I have the option to download these. That means that I have not downloaded any of these Cricut fonts onto my computer. Most of the time when I use a Cricut font, for me, this is just for me, it's a one-time use thing and I don't really go back to it. But in case you're a Cricut Access member and you want to start to download your fonts, you can, definitely do that. I just haven't done that. So that's the difference between these font choices right here. You have all, which is your system fonts and your Cricut fonts together. You have the option to just look at your Cricut fonts. And then just look at your system fonts. And then you have the option to just look at your Cricut fonts separately. When this box is checked, that means only the current fonts are what you can see. So you can uncheck that box and it'll show you pretty much all of your Cricut fonts. Okay. And so you can kind of look through them and see which ones have an additional fee. Like this one that's called Apples. I guess it's Apples. It says Apples BLCK. This one is an additional $4.99, even if you are a Cricut Access member. Okay, that's an example of one that comes with an additional fee. Okay. When you're working with fonts, you can also filter your search over here. You can look for, just my fonts. You can look for multi-layer fonts. You can look for single layer fonts, writing fonts, and fonts that you have downloaded. So if I click the downloaded option, okay, let's see what it gives me. Let me go back to that. Let me make sure let me look at let me look at Cricut and download it. Okay. So it's showing me that these fonts have been downloaded. That's definitely, I would say, not accurate because I don't think I've downloaded these fonts, but okay. All right. So that was another way. The third way for me to show you how to look at your fonts is through a way that is called Character Map UWP. Now, Character Map UWP is actually an app. You don't have to download this app. However, the reason why I like it is because it allows you to see the special glyphs that are associated with each of the fonts that are downloaded on your computer. So I'm going to go over to the Microsoft Store. And I already have the Character Map UWP downloaded, but my goal is to show you how to download it and how to use the Character Map UWP. So I'm going to the Microsoft Store and I'm going to type in Character Map UWP. Okay. And once I type that in, I can see that it's already downloaded on my computer. So I would have to, I have the option to update it or just open it. I'm going to go ahead and just open it. If you don't have it downloaded, then you need to, go ahead and download it if you plan on using it. Now in here, I can see that I have 214 font families. So that means that the two that I just downloaded, because I know I just downloaded two fonts, they're not actually font families because they were really just single fonts. They didn't have like any other special files that went along with it. So that's why I have 214 font families, but I actually have 212 font choices. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So by looking at the Character Map UWP, I can see, for example, let's see, this one is called Bernard. So I can see how to get to the $, the percent symbol, the @ any of the special characters that are available within each of the fonts are here in the Character Map UWP. I will look at a font that is called Samantha because the Samantha upright font is one that has a lot of nice glyphs. I call them glyphs. They are called glyphs. And I love that font. I actually purchased that one from Creative Fabrica. I will make sure to leave a link to it below. That font has 2,714 characters, and I use it really when I'm doing something fancy or something special. Like I used this font when I was making some tumblers for a bride and her bridal party. So this one has like every option for letter A. It has so many different options for letter D, E. It just has tons and tons of characters and special glyphs that you can add to make your font or your word extra fancy. And I really love it. So that is one that, you can really, make I would say jazz up any word that you're going to use. So that is one that has a lot of special glyphs along with it. Another one that has glyphs is one that's called Joseph Sophia, because that one, this one was actually downloaded from dafont.com. It has 351 characters. This one has those middle hearts that you can add to your font. So If I wanted to, like type my name and add my husband's name to it, I could put a heart in between our names, which, I really like to do that. So if I go back to Cricut Design Space and I grab a text box and let me just type my name, and I'm going to change my font to, I'm going to look for a system font, and that one is called Joseph Sophia. Okay, so there's my name with the Joseph Sophia font. So I'm going to click in that box and I am going to change that letter A. I'm going to backspace it. I'm going to go back over to the character map UWP, and I am going to go to that letter A. I'm going to click copy. I'm going to go back to Cricut Design Space. I'm going to click Control V as in Victor, and then I'm going to type my husband's name. Okay, so you can see I added a heart to that A, and I can just, click on his name. Let me ungroup this, and I can just select his name, and I can use the left arrow key on my keyboard and just move his name over so that it is connected to that heart. And I can put all of it. I can select the whole, let me try that again. I can select the not loving this. I can select the whole thing. Let me try that again. Okay. And then I can attach it. And so now it's all together, and I love that. Okay. So that is that. And I have shown you 3 ways to see the available fonts on your computer, what your system fonts look like. I've shown you how to use the character map. I've shown you what Wordmark.it looks like. And I've also shown you how to download fonts, how to extract them, how to install them, and how to upload them into Cricut Design Space. So I think we have done a good job here. If you have found this tutorial helpful, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on the bell for notifications because I do upload new content every single week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and thanks for watching. Bye.